everybody, here we are again, man, in quarantine, pero estamos ahora mismo on a new episode of the
MIGO Experiment.
There's a little bit of delay, but it's okay. With us today tenemos el dúo de pop latino urbano, David Leal y Gigi Ojeda, con este grupo dinámico que se llama Domino Saints. What's good? ¿Qué tal?
Happy Friday. Estamos activos.
¿Qué tal? ¿Y a dónde están ustedes en cuarentena? Dinos.
Ahora mismo estamos en Miami Beach. Hemos estado juiciosos en cuarentena, manteniéndonos bien enfocados, haciendo mucha música, tratando de trabajar el cerebro lo más posible para ser creativos y bebiendo piñas coladas y cerveza.
¿Tú me entiendes?
Ay, qué rico. Yo quiero esa vida.
Sí, pues you can
Right?
Salud, que todavía estoy aquí. Salud virtual.
Salud. Y nosotros aquí aguantando frío ahora mismo en Washington, D.C.
Salud, mira.
Pero Willy,
Claro, ustedes están fríos. Ustedes están en frío. Nosotros, we're like burning up down here.
Yeah.
Está como 90 grados.
what? Are you serious?
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
man. It's pretty horrible.
I would
mean,
love 90 degree
horrible.
weather right now, though.
Well,
What?
you know what? No. How cold is it over there?
33 degrees right now.
Oh, shit.
Is it really?
Yeah.
33 in DC?
Hold on.
way.
No. I'm lying to you.
En
It's
ese
like,
momento, no, it's like, no, it's 50.
well, where you're at, yes.
That's so cool,
Él es
man.
bien
We're like-
dramático. Él
We're
es bien-
complaining about being in the 90s, obviously. This is
I know,
ridiculous.
right? We're in the 50s over here with blankets. Look,
I
blankets.
think, you know, definitely, Miami is different than Puerto Rico. Like, we grew up in Puerto Rico, and I would say the ocean in Puerto Rico is like, it's stronger, it's more active, so you get more wind. In Miami, when it's like hot, bro,
Eso no sopla ni aunque.
yeah, no hay nada de viento, eso te sientes así como una alcapurria bajo la luz, así, es fuerte, tú sabes.
Cocinándose.
Sí, cocinándolo bien duro, pero tú sabes que tengo que decir, prefiero estar cocinándome que estar en frío, porque you don't even want to go out, I bet. Like, en cuarentena, you're like good, like, I'm good at home. I don't even want to go out.
Claro. Even you can't see it right now, pero estoy aquí debajo de mi heater. So, yo estoy bien. So,
Sí, de
mira,
verdad que yo no fui hecha para el frío.
But
Yeah.
we tried. We lived in Boston, man. That was really cold.
oh,
Wow.
It was horrible.
Yeah. Like,
Horrible. I cried every day.
nosotros estudiamos música por allá y pues trabajamos y estudiamos música, pero yo me acuerdo Gigi literally, that
I was
wasn't a
crying.
joke.
No, for real.
I remember one day she was just crying, like, ah!
What am I
quiero
doing?
volver a ir. Necesito calor.
¿Qué es eso? Yo llamaba a mi mamá, mami, me quiero ir.
It's a big difference when you go from like the Caribbean weather to like cold. It's a big difference,
Yeah.
man.
Well, you know, a big thing I noticed it's not just the cold, it's actually the seasons, man, because we don't get seasons. So, you know, you never think about that shit. Like, you're never really thinking about, oh, the sun,
weather.
like, oh, the sun's not going to be out when I get out of work, or, you know, like, you don't think about that. So, and then all of a sudden when you live in the wintertime, it's like, whoa, this is a totally different vibe. I mean, it's cool. I like it. I got into snowboarding. You know, I like the cold weather. I obviously, I'm not good at it.
You're an amateur. What are you talking
But
about?
I've got enough time that I like it. Obviously, I learned that when I was living
We're
in
the freaking
Boston.
bunny slow. Ahí te voy a querer esto, like.
No, I'm past the bunny stuff. You're the bunny stuff.
Yeah, I'm still the bunny slope, and
Come
I'm
on.
vibing it. I like it right there. Con el chamaquito de 3 años. That's where I gotta be. You know?
That's where you belong.
That's where I belong.
I'll ride a couple black diamonds, maybe,
No.
but nothing too hardcore.
Forget that. I'll be like, if anything, you'll catch me in the cabin, ahí tomándome un vinito, and just seeing everybody get killed over there. I'm like, okay.
But it is fun. It is fun. Skiing is cool, man.
Pero,
So
know,
you guys. Mhm.
Oh,
Go
no.
ahead, Jay.
Okay, I'm sorry. No, just like you guys said that, you know, like you guys were raised on the island. So, entonces, ¿de qué parte son?
Bueno, yo soy de Cupey, allá en la ciudad de Tito Trinidad. Como le digo yo nací allá. Yo me crié toda la vida allá. Obviamente estudié allá en Puerto Rico hasta que tuve 22 años. So I was there my entire life. Después fui a Boston, 2 años a estudiar música, nos devolvimos a la isla como por 3 años más y ahora estamos en Miami, que ya llevamos unos, 6, 7 años por aquí ya. Pero we feel, you know, me siento aquí, no me da tanta nostalgia porque primero no se habla tanto inglés. Segundo, la cultura latina
no se habla
está...
tanto inglés, no se
No
habla
se habla
inglés.
inglés.
En Miami nadie habla inglés, it's crazy.
Sí, y entonces, tú sabes, se siente que estás al lado del mar, tiene como que el mismo flow de estar en una islita, so, en verdad, you know, I like it here, you know, es como estar en Puerto Rico, pero
Es
en
como un baby Puerto Rico.
Ajá, exacto. Bueno, not even a baby, it's like Puerto Rico en steroids, porque aquí hay ciudad y,
claro,
¿me entiendes?
Claro.
Pero
no hay montañita, no hay ola. Yo, mira, yo aprendí a apreciar las cosas de la isla. Yo no nací en Puerto Rico, yo nací en Venezuela y mis papás son colombianos. Pero se mudaron a Puerto Rico y pues me criaron en la isla y es lo que yo conozco como mi casa, es mi hogar. Todavía mi familia tiene una casa allá y le tengo demasiado amor a la isla porque es lo único que yo pude tener de experiencia. Yo nací en Venezuela y a los 6 meses nos fuimos, yo realmente ni me recuerdo. Mi familia no es de Venezuela, son de Colombia, entonces si he ido a Sudamérica antes de la música, iba a Colombia a visitar a mi abuela, por ejemplo, pero ahora, gracias a la música, ha sido bien chévere porque pues, nos fuimos para Puerto Rico tanto tiempo. La música me dio la oportunidad de poder viajar a Colombia, a poder conocer todas las ciudades de Colombia que yo no conocía, a conocer familiares que tenía allá que yo no había conocido ni había compartido con ellos. So, en verdad, la música es increíble para mí los puentes que la música puede construir, porque por lo menos para mí, en mi vida personal, la música me construyó un puente a poder reconectarme con familia mía en Colombia que yo no conocía por haberme criado en Puerto Rico.
Got you. ¿Y ustedes dos cómo se conocieron? ¿Se conocieron allá en la isla o en Boston? ¿Cómo fue?
Sí,
desde high school,
Desde high school.
Yeah,
So were y'all best
it's been a
friends?
while.
Yeah, were dating. What was it? What you used to be boyfriend, girlfriend? What
It's
was
a
it?
really funny story porque it was my 15th birthday.
Bye.
Y me acuerdo que mi mamá me preguntó que si yo quería un quinceañero, pero obviamente my family, they don't come from like a lot of money or anything like that. Yo dije,
But you were too cool for it too, though.
yeah, I didn't like those quinceañeras. I was a little bit of a tomboy, you know, whatever. Y yo dije, yo no quiero esos trajes así, todos grandes, feos. Y yo dije, pues nada, mami, don't worry, llévame a la playa, más nada. All I want to go is go to the beach. So fuimos allá en Condado, que está el Sheraton, bueno, lo que era el Sheraton, que hay una playa allá al frente. And I was just there, just floating by myself. Y se me pegan estos dos chamaquitos, ¿verdad? Como que a tirarme una 315, ¿tú me entiendes? A tirarme la labia, como decimos nosotros. Y justamente cuando they were like talking, we see like this dark shadow in the water, but we think it's like someone like scuba diving. We don't really pay attention. Y en cuestión de 3 minutos, se vuelve este caos. ¡Ah! Everybody's like running out of the water and all this shit. ¡Tiburón, tiburón! ¡Ah! And we're like, oh shit! And we're like running out of the water. ¡Ah! Y había un tiburón en el agua, tú sabes. And it's never happened again, which is the funniest thing ever. Obviamente, esos dos chamaquitos, that same day, were like, hey, you want to come to my house? Los invité a mi casa para venir a comer. Y cuando vinieron con David, and that's the first time we met. So it was because of like an almost shark attack, a shark encounter, que nunca vuelto a pasar en Puerto Rico.
What?
I know, it's crazy, but yeah.
And it was really cool growing up on the island. I think people ask about why is there so much talent in Puerto Rico, but there's just a lot of music. Like when we were in high school, I mean, like I remember I had friends that were in the US and they would tell me like when you told someone I'm in band in the US, like some people that were in band actually get picked on in their high school in the US. That's considered a nerdy thing. In Puerto Rico, it's the opposite. If you're in the band, you're cool, man, even when you're like a kid. So that gives everything like a completely different spin. So everybody wants to play in bands. Everybody wants to play music. And that's how it was in my school. That's how it was in our church. And like, we just got into music because you just can't avoid it. You go to your friend's house, he's got a band and they're rehearsing there. And like, oh, we need a drummer today. Can you play? Then the next day, it's like, you know what? Can you play bass? Can you play guitar? So all of a sudden, we're like playing a ton of different instruments at the same time and trying different stuff, playing rock, playing reggae, playing reggaeton, playing hip hop, playing all sorts of stuff. And then obviously people branch out into their own thing, but there really is a huge cultural musical culture in Puerto Rico where people just play every day. And that's why you get all these little kids that come out with so much talent.
As well too, the fact that you guys actually have Sony records right there on the island too helps out a lot. You know, you can kind of like walk up to it, but hey, here's my demo. I'm not saying that's
Yeah, well, there
I'm
used to be
saying.
a lot more record labels. There used to be all of them. Like, you used to have everybody there. Now Sony's like the only one that really has an office there. But I don't know, it's crazy because I didn't learn anything about the music business until we left Puerto Rico. Like, before that, we were just kids that we could play music, and you're just kind of thinking you're gonna get paid at the end of a show. Like, you don't know anything else.
Oh, you had this crazy idea de que te van a descubrir, ¿tú me entiendes? Like that old school mentality de que, me van a descubrir, tú sabes, que yo estoy aquí en una barra dándome un trago and, you know, someone's gonna come up with me and you're like, yo, I like your music. Do you want to be signed to a major record label? And that's not really,
it's not that easy.
Speaking about that, what did you guys do though? What did you guys do to actually get signed? Because, you know, this day and age is different. Like you said, it's not old school anymore.
What I think happened was we were in a transition phase too, because like when we kind of started, the CD was obviously kind of going down already, but digital wasn't as big as it is now. So it was like a transition period that we had to live through. But I think for us, it was always like, man, if I can show people we play live and we're good live, I feel at the end of the day, like, you know, people want to see a show. So we went that route. And that's why we always, even though we're a duo, we would play a lot with a live band because we wanted to be able to do an hour show. And then eventually, I think that kind of translated into us finding out what kind of style we wanted to produce and what kind of music we wanted to do. And once we started playing live and then we started presenting music, I think that's when the two things come together. Like, if you just come up with the music, but you're not playing live, it's very hard to sell the project. But if you are like getting off a stage and people are like, yo, man, you killed it, or your band sounds tight, where can I listen to you? And then they hear your music, that's a combined effect that makes people, I think that lets people know that you're not like, you know, you're not just an influencer or whatever, you're actually a musician. And that was always our focus. And so, like, opening those shows, playing those shows, we got the opportunity to open for big bands. That's really how it happened. We opened for J Balvin a lot in Colombia. We opened for Don Omar. Shakira let us open both her big Coliseum shows in Puerto Rico. And all those shows come together, you know, that's how we got discovered by a major label, and that's how they signed us.
But it's crazy because en ese tiempo en Puerto Rico, you know, this is about like 2010, 2011. Like, shit goes down in the island, que hay tiroteos en todos lados, están tiroteando los moles, there's like people like rappelling from buildings to get into people's homes. It was crazy, it was insane. Entonces había un montón de festivales that they started getting canceled in Puerto Rico. So las justas en Puerto Rico, los Yellow Pass, todos los eventos con medalla y todas estas cosas empezaron a cancelarse. And to the point that we had this, I remember our last show in Puerto Rico, que me dijeron, mira, la cosa está mala, no tenemos dinero, le podemos pagar con medalla. Y yo le dije,
I mean, that's cool, right?
Cool, pero no puedo pagar la renta con medalla, ¿tú me entiendes?
You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
so, pues entonces en ese momento fue que dijimos, okay, I think we need to branch out, tenemos que, okay, ya la cosa en Puerto Rico está como complicada y nosotros vivimos de la música, esto es lo que nos gusta hacer, tenemos que buscar oportunidades. Entonces, David, teniendo su familia en Colombia, que nunca habíamos conocido, porque en general él había conocido una que otra familia, dijimos, vámonos para allá a inventar. Y literal, fuimos allá sin conocer a nadie. Cero, nos tiramos para allá, para Bogotá. Y como son las bendiciones, ¿tú me entiendes? Yo me conecto a un panita de Berkeley para encontrarme con él. Y en esa oficina entra un chamaco que dice, coño, enséñame tu música. Le pusimos nuestra música, le encantó, y da la casualidad que él es bien amigo de J Balvin. Y J Balvin, when he's beginning, estaba empezando, pero estaba bastante pegadito en Colombia. Tenía una que se llamaba, ¿cómo se llama la canción? La de
en lo oscuro no te aseguro.
This is like 2011. Y me dijeron, mira, yo voy a hablar con él a ver si ustedes le pueden abrir los conciertos a J Balvin. Y nosotros, pues dale. Y así fue que empezamos a abrirle un montón de conciertos a J Balvin en Colombia, a Farruko, a Don Omar. Y en ese momento, we get this email from Capital Latin que dice, mira, estoy viendo lo que están haciendo, I saw your latest video, we're interested in signing you. Y tú sabes cómo es la industria. Nosotros pensábamos que era pura guasa.
No había pasado
antes.
antes.
No había pasado
We
antes.
had label people write us and tell us, I want
Y
to sign
pura,
you.
bla, bla. Y le dijimos así mismo, bien caripelado. Bueno, si tú quieres firmarnos, estamos aquí en Bogotá, tenemos un show, le vamos a abrir a Bogotá, so cae. Así, bien caripelado. And they actually showed up. They flew down to Bogotá into that show, que era el Castillo Marroquí. And in that same time, they signed us and J Balvin at the same time. And that's how everything kind of like, everything gravitated for us moving to Miami. Y empezó como que, realmente eso fue para nosotros el comienzo de Domino Saints. Fue ya cuando realmente nos filmaron.
I think that also, it was really crazy because we signed with Capitol, and then Capitol was such a cool company at the time, and then Universal bought Capitol globally. So we became Universal. And that was kind of crazy at first because we just signed, and then we went through this crazy corporate transition thing, which we didn't know who we were going to work with anymore. The people who signed us actually got let go. That was really crazy. It happened the same thing. Like we had that problem, and then J Balvin had the same thing happen to him. And eventually we started working at Universal, and empezamos a sacar pues no sacamos tanta música como queríamos, pero empezamos a sacar música que de pronto nos conseguía oportunidades para tours, para campañas y eso. So once again, we were like showing like, hey, you know, we can do a live show that's killer, and that's why we're here. Y eso nos fue abriendo puertas siempre, y yo creo que han sido los shows grandes que nos han ayudado a definir nuestra carrera. We did Megaland in Colombia, that was like 50,000 people. We did Viña del Mar in Chile, which is the biggest festival in Latin America. And this year we got to do the Super Bowl show, which was amazing. We did Super Bowl live at Bayfront Park. And that was such a big deal to us to get selected to represent Latin culture in a sense. It was us, Fits in the Tantrums, Kanye West. So like on top of that, Shakira and J-Lo were doing their thing. So we've had amazing opportunities, and by showing the people that we have a live show and we play real music, I think that's how we've been able to always connect with people. And that way, I actually like people to check us out live and then check out our music. It's really cool.
Está bien, está bien. You know, going back right now, yo recuerdo, I don't know if you guys remember, pero yo recuerdo que you guys traveled here to DC or Virginia. Ustedes hicieron un show, yo creo que fue de Larry Over o Coscuela. No me recuerdo.
No. We were there, you're talking about like a month ago, 2 months ago?
I think it was in February. I think it was like Valentine's Day, ¿verdad?
Yeah. Pero estábamos en...
I know Larry had a show, but we had a couple shows while we were there.
¿Cuál fue el show? Yeah, but there was a place, what she's talking about, que fuimos en Baltimore. What was that place called?
No fue en Baltimore, fue en DC, Bravo.
Yes,
Bravo. Yo vi que ustedes se subieron a la tarima, and I was like, oh, that's you guys.
I know, and it was weird because I don't think anybody was expecting anything, like anybody gonna
it was a surprise.
And we're like, oh shit, okay.
But you know what? De verdad, like, you know, going into what you guys were just talking about, performing for the Super Bowl, you know, like you said, eso es algo super grande. Y no solo para el grupo de ustedes, pero también, you know, para los latinos, period. You know, because of the fact that, like you said, there was J-Lo, Shakira, Bad Bunny, J Balvin, you know, and then you guys representing, you know, la cultura también. Like, eso es algo super chévere. Y, you know, en ese momento, I mean, like, you know, ¿qué estaba ocurriendo en tu mente? Minutos o segundos antes de subir en la tarima.
Yo, it was pretty surreal porque I think every artist dreams with like these big moments in their career, y no pensaba que iba a llegar tan rápido para nosotros, ¿me entiendes? Obviamente we didn't do the halftime show, but still we were in the freaking Super Bowl lineup, you know? It's insane
to brag about.
And it was the first time that the Super Bowl does anything Latin. They actually straight up called us. Así fue like one of those cold calls that you get that you don't believe. Así mismo fue Viña del Mar, but this time was like the Super Bowl, like, yo, hi, how are you? We're calling you from the Super Bowl. We're interested in your project. We think you guys are perfect fit.
Excuse me, who?
Tú sabes, porque ellos querían algo que fuera un artista que fuera bastante bilingüe, que representara la cultura latina, pero también el Hispanic X, you know, like the Latin X culture, you know. Y como David viene, tú sabes, él es latino, pero también vive en Estados Unidos. You know, we're all around, so, and there's a huge Latinx community that it's kind of like left in the shadows in the, you know, the U.S. market. Ellos querían, bueno, en Miami, let's tap into the, you know, the Latin culture. And I think you guys are a perfect fit. And we're like, are you seriously just calling me right now from the Super Bowl? Like, what the hell's going on? And it was pretty exciting.
You thought I was a telemarketer, didn't you? You thought I was a telemarketer. I'm being scammed.
They thought it was some other bullshitter. That's what they thought.
Yeah, right. Like, you get it. I mean, being in the industry, yo sé que le pasa a ustedes también, that you guys are in the industry, you get so much freaking bullshit, you know, like you get like crazy offers and you don't even know what's real and what's not real. Pero that was legit, thankfully.
Yeah.
Y de verdad que it was a very interesting moment in our career. Yo creo que desde ese momento, a pesar de que estamos, you know, in quarantine and all this shit is going on, it has opened up the doors big time worldwide. Hacer ese concierto, estuviéramos en el lineup igual que like J-Lo and Shakira, and it was such a historic moment porque they killed it. Those girls killed it, you know? Man. And it's like going down in history with what these girls did, and the first time the Super Bowl goes Latin, and it's 2020, and it's the 100 years of the Super Bowl, so of you know, NFL. So it was like a really big deal for us. Y de verdad que de ahí, we even had a whole like U.S. tour lined up for now in April, and obviously, you know, things happen, but
we'll be on the road
we'll be on the road again. You know, we're not
exactly. There's a little break right now, y después cuando salimos de todo esto, you guys just jump back on that horse like nothing happened.
Yeah, I think that's what we want. I think.
At the Super Bowl, how did it feel to actually run? Did you guys run into J Balvin? I mean, you said he was signed with you guys before, right?
I talked to him that weekend, but no, we were like all over the place. I mean, everybody was in 20 different. Besides us playing, we played the night before, and then there was the event of the game. But the whole week, there was so much stuff happening. Like I ran into a lot of people, but no, I didn't actually run into Jay. I was just like, no. It's time.
Just Miami is not built for something like this. Like transportation here is insane. Entonces aquí no hay transporte público. Esto, everybody goes in your car.
And you're not gonna get any. Like in downtown, we had to get like, you know, we had to get a bus to be able to take the band to downtown, because if everybody took their own cars, they just weren't gonna get there. They closed half the city. Everything was closed. You had big stages everywhere. Every venue was like popping. I mean, it was like an extra 300,000, 400,000 people in Miami that whole week. So that was really cool to kind of be able to participate in all that stuff. But we got to see so many other people. Like we ended up at a show that EA Sports took us. And man, I saw
Megan Thee Stallion and
she's awesome, by
DJ
the way.
Khaled.
How's her knees? Are her knees really good in person? Her knees. Megan Thee Stallion. Are her knees really that
great? She's great. Dude, I love
specifically her knees. Yeah.
Yeah, because yo, she dropped that thing down. She's like 16 years old, yo.
Really sexy knees, man.
I remember it was funny because
her knees right now.
A friend of ours, mexicana, ¿verdad? Ella, you know, ella es mexicana, artista latina, ¿verdad? And ella nunca había visto lo que, you know,
ella vive en México.
That like typical American trap culture. Ella nunca había visto eso. You know, la llevamos al show and she was like, like.
No, I think she liked it. She liked it a lot.
No, she was like, how does she do that? You know, like it was a lot of twerking, you know, but it was really fun. You know, we met DJ Khaled.
But it's that level of twerking where like the person's really not moving, but then everything else is moving by itself. You're just like, you're in awe of how does this happen?
Did you take notes, David? Did you take notes?
Careful observation.
You said careful observation.
I'm not gonna lie, I tried it when I came home and I was like, damn, this shit don't move like her, man. I gotta work on something. I gotta eat more like fucking like Whoppers and shit. I don't know.
No. Más mofongo. It works, all right. They don't eat Whoppers, trust me. It's all fried chicken and, you know, stuff like that, grits. Not messing with you.
Mofongo, man, yeah.
Oye, pero ustedes, you know, speaking about 2020, you know, we're aware, well aware here at MIGO Experiment que ustedes salieron con una tema, you know, just today, music video as well.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to go ahead and like open up and talk to us a little bit about that. And was that filmed in Miami or was that in Puerto Rico?
No, it's Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. Hours before que implementaron la cuarentena. So we were running. Yo, that was crazy.
How do you do that? Because like here, anything public is closed. Recreation parks, beaches, all that. How did you get this done over there?
Well,
that was the first day, though.
We started filming this video. See, we went down there to shoot 3 videos, and we got the first one done, which came out, which is Animal, which is like a horror film. It came out really cool.
Which I'm gonna talk to you about that as well. Hold that thought. Yeah.
We did another one that's gonna come out in 2 weeks called Boca a Boca, and we had Sol y Playa. We planned a road trip. We were in San Juan a couple of days doing a couple of things, and we wanted to go to the west coast of the island and do this whole video. And we went out there. We recorded 1 full day, and then that night it was like like one of those cell phone notifications, like an Amber Alert. Oh, boom! We're locking up tonight. Like it wasn't like, hey, we're gonna lock up in 2 days. No, it was just like same day. We're going right now. After 9 o'clock, no one can leave. Yeah, and we still had to get back to San Juan the next day. Yeah. So obviously, the first night we went to quarantine, and then the next day we're like, well, maybe we can record at the beach. And we went to the beach, and like we're there, and the cops showed up while we were there. They're like, hey, no, we're closing the beach. You gotta go home. They're like, okay. So we went to another beach. There was no one there, and then the cops showed up. They closed that one too.
But it was weird because we didn't know what was going on. Porque esto fue, te digo, we did this video March 15, around there. Entonces, cuando hicimos los primeros videos, they were like the talks of like, it might happen. It might happen, de que puede ser que empiece una cuarentena, but it was all like up in the air, like we never lived anything like this. So nobody knew what the hell they were talking about. At least I didn't know it. It's like, okay, maybe.
We still don't know what the hell they're talking about. And we're in the nation's capital.
So esa noche, I remember getting an Amber Alert like at 5 o'clock diciendo, okay, hoy va a haber toque de queda a las 9 de la noche. And we were mid-beach recording Sol y Playa video. And we're like,
we had about half of it done.
And we were like, okay, so we gotta just go home, by 9. And okay, cool. Pero no entendíamos que, porque el toque de queda decía 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. So we're like, okay, so 5 a.m. we're game, so we can start recording at 9 a.m., start doing the rest of the video. Y tan pronto we stepped on the beach, the cops came like fucking like, like screaming at us, and like, los podemos multar, yeah. And we're like, pero ven acá, hasta las 5 de la mañana, like, no, esto es 24 horas. And we're like, oh my God, but what's going on? I don't really understand.
We didn't know how serious it was.
We didn't know. It was the first time, the first day that they implemented this, so we didn't know what was going on. So ese día era como que, okay, íbamos de playa en playa, grabando bits and pieces until we finally like
we basically stopped every route, every beach we could find on our way back to San Juan to see if we could film. And it actually came out pretty cool. Like we ended up finding beaches, like we went to a beach that maybe we didn't think about recording there and ended up being perfect. So that was really cool, and we had a great time. And I'm glad we did it because now at least we can look back on it and kind of think about what this whole album's about, because we've been putting out this whole album called Island Kings, and people ask us, hey, is that because you think you're a king or something? And I was like, no, actually, the idea behind it was that we wanted to put together like a group of songs that could talk about love or talk about real stuff and make you want to appreciate like the simple things in life, and tell people that, hey, you don't need all these millions of dollars to live like a king. If you live on the island, you got your girl, you got your family. What else do you need? Like kind of go back a little bit. Because also, I think we're in an age where, social media is amazing on how it brings us together. We can be in a quarantine and still be hanging out. But, at the same time, I think it had gotten to a point where everything was like so greedy. Like everybody's throwing, Rolexes and Lambos in your face. And that's cool and all, but it gets to a point where it's like, man,
it's just not real.
Why doesn't anyone want to appreciate the real world anymore? Like, why is getting clout on your phone more important than you like enjoying a sunset with your girl? You know what I'm saying? So we wanted to go back to that in this album and kind of bring out ideas and vibes that kind of go with that. And so that's kind of cool because we've been able to put out all these videos that go with Island Kings. This is how many videos I've done. This is the 6th one we've done from Island King. So we've been really excited to we have our own label now. So it's kind of cool because we're not on a major label anymore, but we're still distributed by someone in a major. So we get to put out as much music as we want. We own our stuff. So that's really cool because we've been able to just flow and do the ideas that make us feel good and really do music like without any pressure. Because I mean, being in a label, you have to deal with the managers, you have to deal with the A&Rs, you have to deal with all this stuff, and that's cool. But at the end of the day, that makes it feel like you as an artist are working for them. You're not doing the music that you want to do 100% for yourself, you know, because you got to get it approved and all this stuff. So we right now, thank God, we have none of that process. We do whatever the hell we want, and literally, and that's the best feeling in the world, man. It's like
I feel being out of a cage.
Yeah,
man. Así como que, ah! You know, like you want to fucking like take the world. You're like, fuck it, you know. Y no me importa si la canción es comercial, si no es comercial, si le va a gustar. You know, like,
no te gusta, vete para el carajo.
No, pues ya, you know what I mean? It's like you're just you're being an artist, you're expressing your shit, you know, you're no estás ahí como que de que, no, pero, you know, when you're in a label, es como que, ustedes deberían hacer una canción como la que está pegada, so, and if it's not like that, they don't put it out, you know, and you always have that pressure, and that's why everything started sounding the same.
That's another thing too. That's another thing too. Like, I actually heard the songs that you guys have. First off, Animal, let me tell you something. Dope song. The beginning scared the shit out of my kids. I got a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old.
It was kind of creepy.
Mommy, Daddy, what's that? I don't like it. And then the music come on, like, is that music? I'm like, yeah, it scared the shit out of my kids.
That was me. I was his kid. I was like,
but you know, dope music. But I like the direction you guys are going, because the last couple of songs that I've heard that you guys have done, it's different. It's like dance hall, not reggaeton. It's so different. So who are your influences to your sound that you guys got going on right now?
I mean, we have a lot of influence. Like, I say, like, when we started this project, obviously, nosotros nos criamos con la escena de reggae y dancehall de Puerto Rico, ¿me entiendes? Siempre el reggaetón estaba ahí, el underground, y eso siempre estuvo como que en nuestros comienzos y nuestro background. Pero nosotros, David es surfer, you know, he comes from that surfer culture. Y obviamente, I love surfers, they're hot. So I used to go see the surfers. You know what I mean?
You just went for the view, Miss Tomboy Dike, whatever.
So, you know, we grew up there, y todos los fines de semana había reggae festivals que venían, que si Buju Banton, venía Barrington Levy, y like los Wailers y todo eso. Entonces, we kind of grew up with that culture. Puerto Rico está dividido como en dos bandos, ¿me entiendes?
Está súper cerca de Jamaica.
Entonces, it's like, you know, there's the barrio culture, you know, que está más influenciado por, you know, like New York hip hop and all this stuff. And then there's like the surfer crowd, que, ¿me entiendes? They're more influenced like reggae like and dance. And,
but still,
like
those things really mix together on the island. Like, and it's kind of cool that you mentioned that, Yee, because a lot of people don't know, but like surf culture, it kind of came to Puerto Rico because of the U.S. military bases, but like in the 60s, like a long time ago. So that culture's been there forever. And that culture kind of brought reggae music from Jamaica. And then obviously the surf culture brought reggae roots, brought dancehall culture. And obviously that mixed in with the hip hop culture from New York. And that's how you get reggaeton. But there was always different influences. Like, you got a guy like Eddie D or Tego Calderon, even Don Omar, they're very dancehall. They're very more like the reggae influence of reggaeton. And then you got like the really urban, like New York style hip hop, that how that mixes in. I would say that's more like Hector's father and stuff like that. But if you hear old records, like old like old Baby Rasta records, you know, all those stuff, they had a lot of dancehall influences in their music. And we kind of always grew up with that, because you either kind of sang as a rapper and you still had to do all these dancehall beats, or you played in a reggae band. And if you played in a reggae band, you had to learn how to play all those beats anyway. So when I was like playing as a drummer, that was my instrument. I played in bands that we opened up for, you know, Black Uhuru, Israel Vibrations, Culture, all these awesome reggae bands. I got to back Sugar Mine It. I would see Barrington Levy play. I would see their bands play and how they played everything. And that kind of, you know, it gave us a sense that like reggaeton, which was just dembow, really is part of a bigger genre, you know, like reggae is a big genre. It's got a lot of stuff in it. And we obviously, as musicians, we didn't just want to do reggaeton, because, I mean, I think reggaeton has grown now a lot, but I think we wanted to just make sure we could keep adding different flavors into our music, because we never wanted our music to sound the same all the time. Like, we wanted to do a live show and give you like a roller coaster ride where, yeah, we might do a reggae song, we'll obviously do a dancehall song, we might do a perreo or reggaeton song, but we're going to mix it up. It's not going to be like 2 hours of the same thing, you know?
Sí. No, y cuando empezamos fue raro porque we had all these, like, obviously I'm a huge Lauryn Hill fan, and of course, I mean, who isn't, right? And I started singing like jazz, bossa nova, más todo, como que me trepaban las tinadas cantando reggae and dancehall. So I had that weird influence of like soul and like dancehall and all that stuff. Y me acuerdo cuando empezamos a hacer los primeros tracks nuestros, que we used to hang out at Echo's studio, you know, Echo from La Gasolina and all these like
The Labs,
you know, the Lab. Entonces, you know, Arcángel used to hang out there, Cuyuela, and all these people, and we were showing them our tracks that they were like straight up dancehall, but it was more like we wanted to create this. Desde el principio, David y yo queríamos coger lo que es el pop americano y traducirlo al pop latino. Because pop in the Latin market era pura balada.
Guitars.
Like
pop,
guitars.
pop was like someone singing like an unplugged show.
And we were like, pero ¿qué es esto? I mean, it were either you hacías balada o hacías straight up reggaeton, perreo calle.
We were like, why isn't there the equivalent
Something in the middle?
Right. Like, for example, Rihanna. Rihanna does trap songs. Rihanna does dancehall songs. But, I mean, it's pop, but it's all within the urban style of pop, you know? We wanted to do that within Latin music, and it's kind of cool to say we're one of the first ones to do that, because everybody was always like, no, if you're gonna be pop, you gotta be like playing with a little guitar. I was like, nah, man, I want to do pop, but with a fucking dancehall reggaeton band. And people were like, well, what's wrong with you?
And dancehall back then, it was like, we're talking about 2010, 2011, que empezamos a hacer los primeros tracks, y dancehall, me acuerdo de Arcángel como que, lo está bien cabrón, pero es que, mano, yo no sé, eso como que no va a pegar. You know, they would say stuff like that. And I would be like, what do you mean de que el danzo no va a pegar? Si eso es reggaeton, look, it's just a different beat. You know what I mean?
It's more like a mainstream type of reggaeton.
Yeah, you know, it's like, and we knew that dancehall was going to be huge. Porque, I mean, Sean had like
but doesn't all the reggaeton sounds and samples come from dancehall?
Exactly. Yeah. That's what we had to like teach. You know, we were like, yo, we would have to be like, mira, papi, pero acuérdate que esto viene de la misma mata, ¿tú me entiendes? Que
like shit.
Es verdad, ¿tú me entiendes? But it took a while, and now I see all these guys doing, you know, like mixing up what we wanted, because we wanted to go back to that dance hall, like con lo que empezó el reggaetón, que el reggaetón tenía más reggae en el reggaetón, ¿tú me entiendes? Que era porque se fue demasiado de calle, more hip hop, which is super cool, and I like it, but it wasn't our style.
And it lost the reggae vibe.
And we were like, you know what? We want to bring back the reggae into the like el reggaeton, ¿me entiendes? And that's why we started new tracks. Our first track that we did, like, that went really well, was the Jaquero track that was like literally like that, like going back to straight dance hall, back to the roots kind of thing. Y no se estaba haciendo mucho eso. Después Farruko sacó el Gangalí and all that stuff, and we're like, I think they're getting it now. Yeah, you know, like, you know, we're happy because, you know, I think that in a way, de pronto estábamos un poco adelantados al tiempo, because we could see where Latin music was gonna go, you know, porque no se podía quedar con el mismo beat de reggaeton forever and ever. It had to go somewhere, you know, it had to like evolve. So we knew that like pop would not be solamente baladas, que se iba a volver como
pop se va a volver
urbano. And that's, we would always say, me acuerdo que él como decía, mira, deja de estar diciendo que ustedes son pop urbano, que la gente no entiende esa vaina, que eso es que es una balada con reggaetón, ¿qué es lo que era esa? Y, you know, y like, pero papi, es que ahí que va, mano, es como hacer una canción. It's like bringing back songs into urban music.
But it happens to, like, okay. I didn't know why that felt so, like, now it's normal. Now that's normal. Really, I think maybe J Balvin is responsible for kind of like bringing that out. Then obviously Maluma doing his thing. But even Puerto Rican reggaeton has become more R&B-ish. There's more songs. And obviously you got these killer rap verses in between the chorus. But you need a chorus that sounds like a song. You know, the way a salsa song, you know, tú me hiciste brujería, whatever it is, you know, it's a chorus. It's not just like some dude rapping the whole song. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just like, if you want to take it to the next step, people, like normal people, aren't going to remember, you know, the 16 bars that Busta Rhymes did. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's cool, but no one can follow that, you know? But people can, if you do that and then you add like a chorus that sounds like a song, people can enjoy both parts. And so we kind of wanted reggaeton to go that direction at a time where that wasn't that common, believe it or not. Now it's very common, and that's been really cool. And obviously some people think that, you know, now pop is taking over so much within the urban culture that, you know, there's no space for the really, really street people. And I think that's wrong too. I'm glad that the Grammys now, they're adding a couple more categories to the urban thing. And that's cool because they're going to have a urban pop category. And they're also going to have like, you know, the really like straight up trap category or something. Because I think, you know, it's not like people are all fighting for the same spot so much within Latin music that bothers me, because it shouldn't be about fighting for the same spot, because there's got to be different spots. Like Bad Bunny cannot perform in every city on every night at the same time. You know, he's not Santa Claus. You know what I'm saying? So like in the American world, you know, they have like a touring circuit, and you have like every Friday there's a big show of rock or of EDM in this city, and they just bring different people every week, and you create a scene that way, you know? But in the Latin world, it's like, nah, everybody wants to be number one, and then it's like everything for that dude at the same time, and then there's nothing for anybody else. When there's more than enough to go around, and there's more than enough for people to have their own space. So I think Domino Saints, we know we're not gonna, like, we're not like anybody else, and we're not trying to be like anybody else.
We're not trying to compete. Como que estamos claros que nosotros no queremos competir ni con Bad Bunny, ni con Arcángel, ni con J Balvin, ni con Karol G, con nadie, ¿me entiendes?
Nosotros
We
tenemos
want to have our own
nuestro
space.
espacio,
O sea, el espacio nuestro y que tiene una audiencia, y el que le guste bien y el que no también, ¿me
y que no
entiendes?
se vaya para el carajo.
You know, like, y como... No, es de David, siempre
That's what you say, you go on stage. ¿Cómo está mi gente? Somos Domino Saints, los que le encanta nuestra música, una bulla, los que no le gusta, ¡al carajo!
No, you got it. That's exactly what we do. No, I'm kidding.
Salute to that.
That's dope that you guys
Salute
are doing
to
that, though. 'Cause, like, you guys have created your own lane, you know, because right now, el reggaeton, LaBori can agree with me here. El perreo, la esencia del perreo, del reggaeton, it's kind of left a little bit. Now it's coming back, you know what I mean? Obvio, porque, like, you know.
It's a major comeback right now.
Like, why not people like that, you know, and other people coming in, like, with perreo back. But that being said, I've heard your sound that you guys got going on right now, and previous too, because me working at Soul 107.9 before, el reggaetón de ustedes es bien comercial. That will give it. But as well too, I've noticed that the music you guys got coming out right now, you don't have this whole same lane, you know, kind of like everybody kind of hopping on the Afro beat kind of thing. You guys kind of keep your lane really going, you know, and I really applaud you guys for that, because you're being real with Domino Saints.
Yeah.
You know, that being said, like in your album, because you haven't released the entire album, do you have anything that does sound the norm, the Afro beat like? Do you have it?
I mean, we do have some Afrobeat tracks, but we do it our own way. We always try, because I mean, we discovered Afrobeat back in like 2006. I mean, when it was still like bands, you know what I mean? It's not a new thing. Cuando Afrobeat era con banda, I mean, I'm telling you, like, we used to go to reggae concerts and reggae festivals, y Afrobeat no es nada nuevo, ¿me entiendes? Entonces, we've always been into Afrobeat. Obviamente, I really dig what they're doing now, that they went to more like electronic urban sounds, which I dig. Y el que nos introdujo a este nuevo sonido fue DJ Blast. Like, I would say like 2015, 16. He's like, yo, this is the sound. It's coming back. You guys got to jump on this. And we did a couple of Afrobeat tracks like that que todavía no hemos sacado, pero we have one in this album that we dropped. It's called Body, but we did it in our own way. ¿Me entiendes? Que no es tratando de hacer, porque what a lot of people do that cada cual yo los respeto, ¿me entiendes? Pero es que they straight up copy the same beat and they just jump on it y le cantan en español, ¿me entiendes? Y no se trata de eso. We're musicians y yo quiero como que my interpretation of that, you know?
Yeah.
So I'll put up a little spin to it in my way, ¿me entiendes? Because I love Afrobeat. I love, like, if I'm going to do a reggae track, obviously there's going to be a one drop and all that stuff and the skank and whatever, but I'm not going to rip somebody's beat and just sing on top of it. I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to do a track from scratch y empezar nuestro propio, you know, like add our little thing to it, you know? So that's what we do. So we do have some Afrobeat. You guys check out this song we have out. It's called Body. It has like, it's an Afrobeat, but we did it in our own way, you know? Y tenemos par de cosas.
That's why I mentioned it to you guys. I have heard it. I was like, ooh, I like this. But it's different though. It's really different. It's not, you know, it's not. I don't even know if I should throw these names out there. It's not Jay Cortez. It's not, you know, it's not that lane. It's like a different type of lane. It is Afrobeat, but it's a different lane. And that's why I'm like, I brought it up because it's like, it's not really that same lane. You know what I'm saying?
That's cool that you bring it up because definitely, like, we understand we have a different vibe and we want to collaborate with people like Jay and all those people you're mentioning because I think we could get some really cool, like, different sounds out of that. But yeah, I agree. We have this kind of focus to make sure our music doesn't sound like it's just from one place. Like, that's like a big part of our concept. Like, I want people that don't speak Spanish to understand what Latin culture is about by listening to us. So obviously it can't just be Puerto Rican. It's got to be a lot of things at the same time. And we try to think about that stuff when we write music. And more than anything, also, we just try to kind of throw the rule book out the window. Like, when we're making beats, like, I don't give a shit what Jay Cortez used on his beat. I don't fucking care. Like, I don't use that as a reference. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might like something and might go off of it, but some people, like Gigi said, they'll go to like, oh no, the hi-hat has to be exactly like this because so-and-so did it. And I'm like, dude, it doesn't have to be that way. I mean, if you want to do it that way, you can do it that way, but you can do whatever you want. It's
honestly,
music.
I've had straight up fights, not fights, pero he tenido, a veces I go into the studio with some producers and literalmente,
hold on. I need to show Lilo here because she won't, you know, there's Lilo. So yeah, she wants attention.
You got a big old bunny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look how weird we are. We got fucking bunnies. You know what I mean?
And there's the other one right there. I don't know if you see it.
Big ass bunnies. That's
Hey, look at that man he just straight
Is that a
chilling.
dog? Is that a bunny?
I was trying to talk and Lila was like, she really wanted attention. So
We got bad bunny.
All right.
Yeah. We really have, you know, the OG Bad Bunnies, I'm telling you.
The gray one's straight mugging.
Yeah.
The gray one's over there like, pet me, motherfucker. Don't worry, y'all. I got my bitch with me too. She's right over there. Look at her. All right. She wants me to call her over here. That's why I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. If I call her over here, she wants to be on my lap the whole entire time, man.
Well, my dog is right here already on the screen. Él se llama el Don Willy, right? Say,
Oh, wow, cabrón.
What?
Man, I'm gonna let her have that one. my dog, they in the living room. If I open the door, they're gonna start barking. So,
oh, man. Hey, David. So you produce you produce the records. You both produce the records.
No, we both produce. We collab with a lot of writers and a lot of producers. And it's kind of cool. Like, you know, sometimes we've written on people's beats just like that, like everybody else. But sometimes I think most of this record actually is just us sitting down with the producers one-on-one and just making a song from scratch.
Going back to what I was saying, because it's interesting. Like, we work with some producers that they literally just want to see what's like, what's hot right now. Let's like rip that. And I'm like, no. We're doing something from scratch because this has to be the creative process. Like, okay, ¿cuál es el flow que queremos hacer? Queremos hacer un afrobeat, queremos hacer un reggaetón, queremos hacer un dancehall, queremos hacer un reggae. And let's just go with that, with the flow. Vamos a ir, you know, like the old school kind of way, like how you really create music.
You write a song.
No literalmente, esta es la canción que está pegada, hagamos algo exactamente esto. No, I don't fly with that. And y por esa razón, I know a lot of people say that we're different, and you know, and so what? I mean, a veces yo pienso como que they say like we're different in like in a bad way. But it's like, isn't being different like good? Like, you don't want to sound like anybody else. You want to have your own thing. You want to have your own sound. Y ojalá que de aquí a 10 años, ¿me entiendes? La gente diga, coño, mano, los Domino, ellos siempre se mantuvieron ahí, and they brought a new sound. They did their own thing, you know? And hopefully we open the space for other artists like us that they want to fuse and with different rhythms
and do their own thing,
you know? That's what we want.
But that's a good thing, because you're doing your own music in your own unique way. You're not hopping on anybody's, like, you know, beat, and
you're not
making your own music.
You're what?
That's what we call it. We call it here.
You're not dick writing.
So, like, you know,
I think we've taken a longer road by trying to do something that's different, but it's so much more gratifying especially now, like this album really feels great because, like I said, being in the major labels and being different is very hard. Like we had all these fights with Universal all the time. It was like we would turn in songs and it was like, oh, this is freaking awesome, but you don't sound like so-and-so, or you're not doing the same thing that so-and-so's doing. And that's not cool because we're like, I don't care about so-and-so. That's him, let him do his thing. Why do I got to do what he has to do? And unfortunately, that happens a lot in the labels. So now that we basically run our own show, it's really cool because we've been able just to do like just what feels right. And honestly, that's the most we want to give to the public is how we really feel and just to be genuine with who we are, because I don't want to come off as someone who wants to be famous. I don't want to be famous. I want to make music that touches people's lives. And if that is fame or that brings you fame, cool, but that's not the objective for us. Like, because honestly, like I think right now we can all notice that all those people that are just shooting for fame and money and all these things, you can't even leave your house, bro. So like what are you gonna do with all that right now? Like what are you giving people that has substance that's gonna last forever and that's really gonna help people at the end of the day get through all this shit? That's what we want to do.
No, y más que nada, being a girl in this industry is pretty hard. ¿Me entiendes? And you get pushed in a certain way that no, si tú te quieres pegar, you gotta like twerk in every IG, you gotta be like dressing sexy, you gotta do this, you gotta do that.
You gotta be an Instagram stripper.
Yeah, you really basically.
You heard that, buddy?
Hey, but wait. We all like being sexy. Again, with no offense, because I like being sexy in my own way and whenever I want. But I don't like people telling me what to do. ¿Me entiendes? Es diferente. ¿Sabes? Porque if I want to twerk one day, it's because I want to twerk. Not because somebody's telling me like, hey, you gotta twerk, you gotta get those numbers
the
up.
The analytics are saying that you have to twerk 24/7.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And so
the analytics are saying that the most engagement was from twerking, therefore you need to
gotta do that every
all
day, all day, every day, and it's like it's been hard in a sense porque mucha gente no habla de esto, pero uno de los struggles que hemos tenido nosotros es el hecho de que when we started, la única mujer que había salido era Ivy Queen back in the day and was doing urban music. Entonces yo me acuerdo, I would go to the studio and start like, kind of like doing my dancehall stuff and like, uy, no, eso es muy agresivo. A la gente le gusta que las nenas estén como muy sexy, que todo lo cantes así, like, and all like, all cutesy and whatever, and, and they would be like, shut up almost all the stuff that we would do. And that's why I'm really proud that there's like this feminine movement that's going on in the especialmente los latinos, ¿me entiendes? Pero con todo y eso, no te creas, it's very restrained. Hay un tipo atrás diciéndole a la tipa qué hacer, ¿me entiendes? And not all about that. And we have this freedom. Y me han dicho que soy complicada por eso. Me han dicho de que I'm hard to work with because, if I don't want to do something, I don't do it. And
that's how it should be.
And how it should be. Like, I don't want to be nobody's like little like sex toy. You know what I mean? And
puppet.
Yeah, it's a little puppet. And in that way, han sido todas estas cosas, all these struggles we have to deal with to like succeed in this industry. Que yo creo que poco a poco se va abriendo, ¿me entiendes? Y yo creo que now 2020, I think people are getting it now. Los latinos lo estamos entendiendo, with the social media y la globalización. They're listening to other stuff, what they're doing, in other countries, and they're getting it. They're like, oh shit, wait, girls can do like this, they can rap, they can do this, they can be their own individuals. Hay otro sonido afuera, ¿me entiendes? And that's how I feel that right now the world is ready for our project. Y a pesar que we've been like at it for like 8-9 years, just like hitting it every day y bregando con los no y que la gente nos diga que estamos locos para el carajo, which we probably are. I'm pretty sure we are. But
yeah. It's all good though. It's crazy sales, y'all. Crazy sales, believe it or not. Sex does sell.
Self-aware, man. I'm self-aware. If we were normal, we wouldn't be doing this shit.
Yeah, we should be.
Dope. Hey, speaking about 2020, a cosa diferente, can we ask you a couple questions?
Yeah.
All right. So, Gigi and David, who can twerk better, David or Gigi?
No.
That's an obvious question.
But she just said she had trouble twerking.
No, I'm not good. Like I do perreo, but I don't fucking twerk. You know what I mean? I can't make that shit clap.
She goes like this. She don't go like this.
Yeah, it's different. It's different. Como que el perreo diferente. Like I can't do that. I'm like hats off to Megan Thee Stallion for doing this.
For having such beautiful knees.
It's those knees, man.
The knees, man. The knees, bro.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna have to look at these knees. I'm really.
All right. The reason why I keep saying Megan Thee Stallion because she keeps dropping it. The reason why that's why like even girls on the radio they talk about, man, she got hella like great knees because man, you see these girls' knees when they get on top, yo, they bend it.
Yeah, I know.
You right? You all right? Did you lose an ACL? You okay? You know what I mean? Like young Megan. Hey Jay, you got.
Yo, have you seen those girls that do like that straight dance off from Jamaica? These girls are doing some moves that I'm like, oh, she literally broke a new. Oh no, she didn't. Damn.
Yo, they look like they're wrestling, like for real, yo. Like
I've seen some wrestling in the
when
trees.
they like jump on top of each other.
Yeah.
They're like body slamming each other down there. Man. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yo vi unos nenes bien flaquitos, así que se acuestan en el piso, and this like 300-pound girl just like, and she starts like, I'm like, oh my god, she straight up killed him, and she, you know, he's still alive.
Yeah, I see that video of the little skinny guy, and then the big girl sits on him, and I just imagine that, like, you know, the dudes at the funeral, bam, 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 you know.
Can I ask you a question? Have you ever seen a crazy experience like that though before, live in person?
In real life, no.
We've had some funny things happen. I'll tell you a story.
Was I drunk? I don't know.
No, but the first time we was like our first week in Miami, right? And so there was this place that used to be called Jazzed. They're gonna reopen it, but they closed it. But they always had like live reggae on the first floor, and then on the second floor they had all this awesome like trap music. And when we first got to Miami, trap wasn't big in Puerto Rico yet. We really didn't know what trap was, but trap was already really sounding in Atlanta and Miami. So we went to this spot and we heard this like awesome like trap beat, obviously super awesome hip hop. And we're like, oh man, let's go up there. So we go up there and like, I don't know, Gigi was like really motivated. Like, yeah.
You know, like, I'm in the vibe.
Boom, as soon as we walk in, this like 6 foot like African American girl, really big girl, she saw Gigi, she's like, that's what's up. And she just like grabbed Gigi and started spanking her like in the butt like that.
She threw me to the wall. And she was like, oh yeah. Y oye, te estoy diciendo, yo soy esta nena boricua, tú me entiendes, acabo de salir de la isla, coming here, I've never seen anything like that, you know. And she's like, oh yeah. And she's like Venus Williams, ¿me entiendes? ¿Tú me entiendes?
Really
like,
big girl.
You don't even know what to do. And I'm just like in shock.
Gigi
Man.
And she's like twerking on me and whatever. I've never seen twerking before. Y después vio un pana de nosotros que medía como 6'5".
Yeah, she saw a really tall friend of mine. She skipped me, went straight to him, grabbed him, threw him against the wall, twerked him to death.
Like literally.
And then like she just left.
She
pulled
up her skirt.
She pulled up her dress all the way up. It was crazy. Yeah. And then the funny thing was when she left, my friend says to me, oh my God, dude, I need a cigarette.
Oh, it's funny. After the song was over, she's like, thank you guys, bye. And we're like,
what the hell was
welcome
that?
to Miami.
You just raped my friend, and then now he needs a cigarette, and you're out? That was it?
I'm like, is this Miami? Oh my gosh.
They said, bienvenido a Miami.
Bienvenido a Miami.
Took your breath away, literally.
Okay.
That was insane. But that was really funny to honestly hear my friend like, man, I need a cigarette. It was so funny.
That is wild. Bueno,
you see some things here that's out of control.
I'm telling you, like that was definitely, you know, I've had my experiences because I work in the clubs too, so I've had my experiences where you see some really, really weird things like that.
Miami's crazy.
Miami's pretty insane.
We've seen people like when we first started also, like when we signed the Capitol and then Universal bought Capitol, there was like 6 months where we like had no idea what was gonna happen with our lives because we were signed to these people and they fired everybody. We're just waiting for Universal to see what they're gonna do. So we started working in nightclubs and we ended up working at Nikki Beach, which is a really cool like kind of beach club, or it was at the time. Now they don't do that much stuff, but that place used to have these huge parties, and that's the first time I've actually seen people that are crazy enough, like literally in front of 5,000 people in the middle of the party, like people having sex, like right there, like they don't give a shit that anyone's around them. I had never seen anything like that.
En Puerto Rico muy conservador.
Yeah, in Puerto Rico, you're not gonna have anybody having sex in the middle of a party. Like that's crazy. Yeah. Miami, you know, It's nuts.
Yeah, like people kissing trees and stuff like that. That's out of control.
Oh, that's the drugs.
Well, honestly,
here
I'm
too.
drugs.
like
here
on
too.
Molly 25 to have sex in front of everybody. You know, like that's
Like
great.
making out with trees. That was off the wall. Yeah.
You're trying to get that wood.
Yeah. She's like, oh my god, you taste so musky.
So I gotta ask, just because of the fact that el Don Willy and Henry Flo, ellos son de El Salvador. Bueno,
Y Honduras.
Henry Flo is Honduran and a Salvadorian.
Okay.
So ellos son, they're from Central America. So being from the Caribbean, growing up in the Caribbean, have you guys ever had Central American food?
Yeah.
A what?
Central American food.
Comida de...
Oh yeah, but it wasn't until we got here to Miami that I tried it for the first time.
Casamiento, right?
But what have you guys tried?
Casamientos de arroz con frijoles. So
Yeah.
Arroz curtido.
arroz con
Pico
habichuela, whatever.
Pico de gallo.
Yeah, bueno.
No, wait, no, gallo pinto.
That's nicaragüense.
Isn't
That's
it?
I never tried a pupusa one. I think I tried a pupusa once. But it was all here in Miami. En Puerto Rico no se ve.
No, en Puerto Rico no hay lugares así.
There's not a lot of like Central American food. That was the first time it was here. Just like, believe it or not, being there in Caribe, I never tried Haitian food, and that shit is fire. Like,
That's
it's
really
so
good.
good, or Jamaican food. Porque Puerto Rico, allá es very Spanish type.
Jamaican food and Cuban food Puerto Rican food and Cuban food are very similar.
Pero allá tú comes comida cubana, boricua y española bastante. Hay mucha paella, casi todas las panaderías son españolas.
Todas las panaderías en Puerto Rico son españolas.
Ahora es que está llegando, Peruvian food, but that's like still very new.
Yo, Peruvian food is
Wow.
lit, man. That shit is
So
fire.
Wow.
So good.
I'm kind of proud of them because I feel like, if you go to, like, I have a Mexican friend who was telling me this, but, he was telling me that, like, Mexican food has achieved that status of, like, you can go to Japan and there's a Mexican restaurant because just like you go anywhere, there's Chinese food, there's hamburgers, there's Mexican food, and there's Italian food. Exactly. There's pizza and pasta everywhere. And then Peruvian food is starting now to kind of get like really common, whether you see it everywhere. So that's really cool because they're definitely putting South America on the map when it comes to food.
Yeah.
Because I like Colombian food a lot. I really do. I think Colombian food is really good, but the Peruvian food is just amazing.
Well, Puerto Rican food is the fire. The thing is that tú comes boricua todos los días and you're gonna be like 100 pounds overweight afterwards.
All right. So Gigi, about you being a fellow Washingtonian born here. Get that at her. What happened? What happened?
Okay. Yo,
No, first of all, what
Hear me out.
hospital were you born in?
Okay, so mi papá, boricua, they're musicians, and they went to school at Johns Hopkins, in Peabody. They went to school there.
It's Maryland, right?
I think Maryland, right? So, I was kind of a noops, I think. And I was born there. I was born there in some woman's hospital that, funny enough, years later when I was like 13 or 14, I went back to, DC to see where mi mamá me quería enseñar where I was born. And obviously Google didn't exist at that time, y nada de, social media. And we never found the hotel, the hospital. Yeah, it was Christmas Eve that day and everything was closed. Like the only thing we pudimos ver fue Arlington Cemetery. Todo lo demás estaba cerrado. And we ended up eating 7-Eleven 3 times in a day. That's all we ate. And that's my experience in DC.
That's so.
Okay, so I was born there. I was born in June. And 6 months later, cuando llegó el invierno, que mi mamá dijo que cuando ella me vio, like, all wrapped up like a Michelin doll, and she was like, no, vamos para la isla. No puedo hablar con esto. Bye. And literally, it was like they were back in the island 6 months later. So that was it.
Did you ever find a hospital?
She just showed me a picture. That was my first snow. It was literally when, like, the day they were packing to leave to Puerto Rico. Y me dijeron, mira, esta fue la primera vez que nevó en DC, esta fue tu primera nieve. Y ahí fue que dijimos, pa'l carajo esta mierda.
No, but did you ever find a
No sé
hospital?
a mi mamá es la mujer más friolenta del planeta.
Sí,
She
like-
uses sweaters in Puerto Rico.
She
Can you
wears a
believe that?
sweater.
I mean,
Like,
what the hell?
you go to the beach in Puerto Rico, Gigi's mom's wearing like a sweater.
Sí, ella está con...
Ay, está frío, it's always
Hey, chill out, because at nighttime it gets a little chilly. Yo me pongo un suéter también at night. Especially
In Puerto
sometimes
Rico?
when I go to the beach,
Bori,
I put a little sweater on
Jay.
too.
Jay, you're like a $1.05 soaking wet, yo. Like, yeah,
So that heater's
Yeah.
like...
yeah. So if she's like a $1.05, you know that wind it hits her pretty hard. You know,
Thank
it might take her away too with it, but you know it's
Thank
all
you.
good.
Qué
So,
malo.
story with DC, honestly. It's very, very short. Pero, you know, cuando la
But
gente me
Gigi
pregunta...
could run for president. See, I can't run for president, but Gigi can run for president.
Okay.
You guys are gonna make me take a picture. I'm gonna take a picture of Trump's body and put Gigi's face on it. And funny.
Are you trying to insult me, girl?
That's
What's
the
going on?
promo. It's gonna be the promo.
It's
Gigi's
gonna be
funny.
Maha, MAHA, make America hot again. It's like,
Make America hot again.
But leave me the hairdo, because I would love to see
Actually,
how
my
I
guy
look
is
with hairdo.
make America Gigi again.
Gaga.
Make America Gigi again.
That means like straight up alcoholic the entire US.
So you know what? Speaking about alcohol, has
Okay.
there ever been a time that you guys have gotten on stage to perform drunk as fuck?
Of course. I don't think we could ever perform sober. Are you kidding
Yo,
me?
but there's this time, man, that it's like, David sabe, esta vez, porque
That was at the beginning, though. That was
it
way
was,
at the beginning.
but that was the time that we had to draw a line, like, yo, there has to be a 4-drink minimum, like,
That's
you know,
still a
like,
lot. Four is a
that's
lot.
it.
Or drink
What
maximum.
happened? What
Maximum,
happened?
maximum,
What happened that
minimum,
made you have to
maximum.
set this minimum?
I
What
think
happened?
it's a two-drink minimum, 4-drink maximum for performance.
Exacto. Es que fue.
Because you can't be too fucked up, you know? Like,
We were starting at Berkeley in Boston, and our first shows were in New York. Y obviamente, New York is a very weird place to play, you know? It's like these weird-ass holes in the walls when you're starting off, como que the back in some, like, weird Chinese restaurant or
we
something
literally
like that.
played in a Chinese
It's
restaurant.
very weird.
That
Very,
they
very
would
weird.
move the chairs out, and then it was like a venue. I
And
couldn't
it
believe
smells
that.
like it hasn't been cleaned in like 500 years, some shit like that. You know,
Oh.
like that kind of place. That's where you start playing at. Y me acuerdo que there was a whole bunch of our crew from Berkeley coming with us porque they knew that in this bar they wouldn't check IDs, and we were all like underage, you know. So
Except for us. I think we were the only one.
Yeah, we were
the
all the
ones in
only
the band
ones.
were the only ones that weren't under. Everyone else kind of could
Yeah.
go to New York and hang out. Where in Boston, like, they're really hard on IDs. We had like, I think we had almost 100 kids come from
Yes,
Boston to
yes,
New York to that
yes.
show. And then on top of that, we had all our friends from New York. And we just drank and drank and drank. And the show got really postponed.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. There was like, I
We were
don't know, it
supposed to play,
started
like, at
really late. We
midnight.
were supposed to play like at midnight. We
Midnight.
played like at 3,
4,
4 in the
5.
morning. And all those people stayed, and we just got, like, everyone there got really drunk.
And you know when you're 21, that it's like, tú no tienes
Shots.
límite, tú me entiendes? Que es como que, you know when you get that point like, oh, I shouldn't drink anymore? That doesn't happen when you're 21. You know,
Yes,
it's
it
like,
does. Yes, it does. Yes, it
I'm
No,
does.
it
about to
doesn't.
say, I'm
Yes,
like,
it does.
I,
Yes,
I
it does.
concur.
Especially when you start drinking at 13. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know
21.
about 13.
Don't let him lie to you. He's lying to you. Any age, any
No.
age.
But
No,
21,
no.
no.
you
21,
start
nah.
doing that when you're like 25. You're like, you know what?
Yeah.
You know, I should start like, you know, como que déjame bajarle un poquito. Pero when you're like, you know, from like 17 to 21, eso, you're like, oh, I'm feeling kind of bad. Okay, let's keep drinking. You know what I mean?
You know what the funniest part of that video is? There's a video, right? And
So wait, let's say the story right. So it was like 4 in the morning, and they finally say like, "Oh, you guys are up," and we're hammered, like, you know, out of control, like hammered. You know, I can't even stand up, hammered. You know what I mean? Like, David me está cargando and shit. You know.
I had to play drums. I was playing drums that night instead of singing.
Y yo me acuerdo que I would forget all the lyrics on my song. Y lo único que hacía era puñeta, estamos pasando cabrón. Woo! Y la
But people
cosa es
loved
que-
it, man.
But everybody was as drunk as us because everybody like
People
stayed, you know,
loved it.
till 4 in the morning. Everybody was hammered, and they're like, "Oh my god, that was such an amazing show." Y me acuerdo que tenemos un amigo que hace video que lo invitamos a ese show como que para grabar el show. And he was recording, and I remember after that show, I was like, "Yo, that was the best show ever,
That
bro!
was
Like,
awesome,
that
man.
was out of control.
We killed it.
Diablo, qué cabrón. Mañana vamos a ver ese video y eso está tan cabrón." Next
Reality.
morning, it was like 12, and we're sitting there like, yeah, vamos a ver ese
Let's
video.
watch the show. I swear to God, it sounded like this. Just like, what the fuck?
I was like tumbling and falling. And it was just like, bro, like, I remember on a Family Guy. Have you seen that episode of Family Guy? Ellos estaban como un talent show. It's like, and they thought they killed it, and they played it back, and it was all like, yeah. So it was definitely that, for real. Like, de ese momento, there was like silence.
Like, I don't think we should drink that much before playing, man. But yeah, no, I think having to play sober sucks, though.
Yeah.
That definitely. I prefer to obviously be drinking than to play sober, but I think there's a limit. You know, there's a limit.
And I just get really, I get down when I get drunk.
Four drink maximum.
I tengo una vaina de que me doy par de palos y lo que quiero es perrear hasta abajo. ¿Tú me entiendes? Entonces, those little, yeah, man.
Caribbean.
Like the real Puerto Rican comes out and it's like, yo, bájale. ¿Tú me entiendes?
I think that applied, that rule like literally applies to like, you know, everybody in this industry. Like Flo, you know, Flo, él es un DJ. Flo, I feel like
DJ locutor and everything, and I gotta limit myself on what I do. Like,
he gets himself, you know, at least 2 drinks in to hype himself up. You know, me, like when
J's, you know, like
when I host, I'm like, okay, I need like 2 shots, and I'm good. 2 shots in the
But there's always a point that you gotta go, like, tienes que pasar el punto para decir, yo, wait, 2 drinks is like my max, you know? That show was mine, like, oh shit, you know, I think 4 drinks is my max.
We must have had, honestly, we probably had like 8 or 9 drinks.
No, we had more than that, like shots.
We stayed an extra 4 hours. You know, we were supposed to play 4 hours earlier, and like, what do we do the whole time? Just drink, you know? It got insane, you know?
No, I think straight up in Boston, por el frío, I think we became alcoholics. For sure. Like, no joke. Like, lo único que me salvaba de ese frío era el alcohol. It was the only way I could cope with that frío.
Walk outside, walk like 2 doors, go in a bar, have a drink. Then walk another 2 doors, go in another bar. Like that's what we did for Boston. It was fun. I had a lot of fun, but yeah, I noticed that we.
No, and it got to the point hasta el día de hoy. Somos bien panas todavía. Hablamos mucho con el DJ de J Balvin, Pope, and he absolutely loves getting me drunk. So every time he sees me,
him and his wife,
he's like, Gigi. And he just gives me like shots all night. And y él sabe que no puedo decir que no, ¿me entiendes? Porque es mala educación, ¿me entiendes? You never say no to drink.
Yeah, we never turn down
alcohol.
No.
Alcohol, you never turn down alcohol.
And you never pour it out. You never pour it out.
You can't.
No, I think that's bad luck.
I think it's bad luck. I think it's also disrespect. Like, I've had to drink with the craziest people you can imagine. And like, I've been in Medellin and straight up, like, you know, the biggest gangster walked into the bar and people were like, yo, bro, we got to stand up. You got to say hi to this guy. I'm like, whoa, like that level. And then he's like, hey, I want everybody here to have a round with me. And I'm just like, bro, here's my cup, man. Pour the whiskey, bro. I'm not saying no to this guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, those just people, you not say no to a drink, you know? You're going to get shot if you say that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure someone's like, no, I don't drink alcohol. In that moment, bro.
Shut up.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's do it.
Not do that.
If you give you a line, just do it.
Thank you so much. I will drink as many as I need to.
Yo, and I don't know, LaBori, I don't know if this happens to you, pero literal es que como que le perreo a literalmente todo el mundo en el lugar que voy. ¿Me entienden? When I'm that drunk, and it's like, I'm just like straight up like, woo! Like every single person in the club, I'm just like perreando, and I'm like, bye. You know, and they're like, whoa, what the fuck happened? You know, can I got your number? And like, bye.
The janitor.
You know? Yeah, literally. And it's like, that's why I'm like, I got to put that limit, you know, because, you know, I can't be like perreándole a todo el mundo. ¿Tú me entiendes? Y pues, yes, it should have happened.
Yeah.
It's real.
I don't know. Flo, can you say that that's me?
Well, with you, you're homeless right now because you already know we stand here in the DMV. But
you know, I'm not gonna lie. The moment that I know I gotta cut it off, like that moment that yo me quedo trepada encima de un speaker and start dancing.
Yes. Yeah, I've been there, girl. I've been there. I know what you're talking about.
I'm like, all right, yep, it's time.
On top of the DJ booth. like right there, you're like, buddy, I'm over here like eating with one hand on her, like, Don't fall.
That's why
baby.
that was
Please
one
don't
time.
fall, yo. Don't
You
fall.
remember, I was at the club that I was working at, and they had like a pole. Oh man.
Oh God.
I know. Leave
Next
that to the
day I woke
professionals,
up to
girl.
Snapchat videos, and I was like, "Oh my God, what did I do?"
I know.
But you know what? So, anyways, Domino Saints, muchísimas gracias for being with us here on the MIGO Experiment. You know, Sol y Playa is out now.
Yeah.
Listen to it, watch the music videos, support them. ¿Dónde te puedes seguir in social media?
Yeah, @Domino Saints, ahí está todo. In every website, Domino Saints on TikTok, on IG, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Triller. And DominoSaints.com, we got the webpage set up, and our YouTube channel, Domino Saints. Also, just follow us and check out all the videos.
Y cuando vayan a ver el video, por favor, si están en cuarentena todavía, just put in the big screen, sirve de una piña colada.
Put on your bikini.
Or put on your little bikini.
Prende
and
un
like,
feeling.
prende un feel también, ¿tú me
I'm gonna
entiendes?
be mosquito.
Ponte
Yeah, put on your
Willy.
mosquito. You look like a mosquito guy. Oh, yeah. You know?
What?
Yeah.
Willy.
What?
el bikini, Willy.
Nah.
Yeah, there's a rule in Guy Code. I think it's like, I don't know, number 54 or something, but it says men never let their friends wear a speedo.
I'm just kidding. I don't even know.
Salute to that.
Hey, Willy, did you drink the whole bottle, bro? Hey, Willy.
What is that?
Good job, Willy. Good job.
All right.
I'm gonna be calling you in the morning, boy.
I'll be all right.
Go see what it do to me. Anyways, thank you guys, Gigi, David as well, for coming out. You know, coming out for joining us on the Zoom. And it's supposed to be like we usually, you know, time limited, like 20, 30 minutes, because it all depends on how it goes. But I can see the flow went well. Thank y'all.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Yeah,
Guys.
man,
It
thanks
was
for
fun.
the good vibes.
You
Really
know,
appreciate it.
Quarantine time. Next time, cuando todo esto termina, you guys definitely have to come up here, hang out with us.
Yeah,
I gotta go hit on my hometown. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, you gotta come to the whole town.
Yeah.
My hometown. Can you believe that hospital I was born doesn't exist anymore? They told me it's like a condominium now. It's like,
Yeah,
so I
believe
and
that.
and it was called Providence.
It's called Providence Hospital.
yeah, it was an all women's hospital.
Yeah, Providence.
Yeah, okay.
See,
Yeah.
they know
If
more.
you-
How do they know? Like,
Look,
you
if
don't
you're
know,
born in
like-
DC, the thing is, if you're born in DC, you're either born in Providence or you were born in DC General.
Oh, okay.
That's the
Okay,
hood,
got it.
by the way. That's the hood. DC
Where I was born?
No, wow, I was born in
Well,
DC
Providence
General.
is kind of like in the hood, but that's not the hood. DC General's hood. That's like
Okay.
county. You know what I mean? You were actually born in a nice, decent hospital.
Yeah, you at least had you at least had Mohans in there.
Like, what? Okay, cool. But it was cold as shit.
Oh.
Fuck. Well, thank you guys for coming out, and by this as well too. Everybody following you on social media like that, is it you guys, or is it like a computer? Is it somebody you guys hired?
Nah, it's us, man.
No, it's us. Yeah,
It's us.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
we don't pay for that kind of stuff. So it's straight up us. So yeah.
Hey, look at Buddy.
we look. We're just like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're telling the truth. I can see
Yeah, they
it.
tell the truth. They hit
I'm
the robot.
how do you say? I can read when someone's lying. And I'm
Nah,
like, they're
Gigi
telling
got me when she said we ain't paying nobody for it.
Gigi was like, nah, she was like, nah, I run that shit.
Right now, yo, I have not gotten my stimulus check. You know what I mean? I don't got my money for that. You know.